Step into the untold journey of the Malcolm and Eddie cast, once comedy icons, now facing the unpredictable twists of fate. From shocking accidents to life-altering setbacks, their paths have taken unexpected turns. Who managed to rebuild their lives, and who struggled to find their way. As we enter 2025, we uncover the resilience, heartbreak, and triumphs of these beloved stars. Their stories will surprise you, their struggles will move you. This is a journey through fame, fortune, and the challenges that come with it. Eddie Griffin, who played the hyperactive and wisecracking Miles Wafer in Malcolm and Eddie, was 28 when the show debuted in 1996. His magnetic presence and unpredictable energy brought the character to life. Behind the laughter, however, Griffin's personal life has been riddled with hardship. Married 3 times, first to Carla James, with whom he had a son, Alexa, then to singer Rochelle Randall, and finally to producer Vanessa Todd, none of his marriages lasted more than 5 years, all ending in acrimony and public disputes over finances and infidelity. He fathered 4 children in total, including twins Xavier and Elise, but has had strained relationships with them, especially following custody battles and child support controversies. Griffin battled substance abuse in the early 2000s and faced bankruptcy in 2012 after lavish spending and unpaid taxes. A 2015 car accident left him with chronic pain, further limiting his career. He currently lives a reclusive life in Las Vegas, performing stand-up occasionally in small clubs. Though still witty, he struggles with depression and isolation. His estate, once rumored to be worth over $6 million, is now estimated at only $500,000, including royalties and a modest home. Karen Malina White, who portrayed the headstrong and vibrant Lynn, brought warmth and spirit to the ensemble. At 31 when the show began, her powerful performances masked the deep personal struggles she would face. White never married, though she had a long and troubled relationship with a fellow actor during the early 2000s, ending after a public scandal involving domestic abuse. She has no children, citing her decision as one of self-protection after enduring a traumatic childhood with an emotionally distant mother and an alcoholic father. Following the end of Malcolm and Eddie, White found steady work elusive, often relegated to voice acting or minor TV roles. In 2013, she suffered a nervous breakdown and was hospitalized after the sudden death of her only sibling, her brother Marcus. She now lives alone in a modest apartment in Pasadena and is known to teach acting workshops at local community theaters. Financial instability continues to shadow her, with an estate estimated around $150,000. Friends describe her as reclusive but kind-hearted, living in the shadow of what her career might have been. Malcolm Jamal Warner, who joined Malcolm and Eddie after his fame as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, brought depth and sincerity to his character, balancing Eddie's chaos with steady logic. At 26, Warner hoped the show would rebrand him, but it never reached the success of his earlier fame. His personal life, often kept quiet, was riddled with heartbreak. He was once engaged to actress Michelle Thomas, whose death from cancer in 1998 devastated him and reportedly left him emotionally withdrawn. Warner married publicist Liana Ortiz in 2005, and they had a daughter, Marley, but the marriage crumbled after infidelity allegations surfaced in 2013. Warner maintains limited contact with his daughter due to a bitter custody arrangement. His music career stalled, and roles in television became sparse as he struggled to escape Theo's long shadow. He now lives quietly in Atlanta, working occasionally on documentaries and podcasts. Though never financially reckless, his estate stands at an estimated $1 million, largely from residuals and investments. Still, friends note his profound loneliness, especially after the passing of his mother in 2021. Ron Pearson, who portrayed the affable and quick-witted Alex, was 31 when Malcolm and Eddie aired. Known for his clean comedy and charm, Pearson was the show's quiet backbone. Off-screen, however, his life veered into heartbreak. Married in 1994 to dancer Shannon Royce, the couple had 3 children, Dylan, Zoe, and Marcus, but their marriage ended in 2011 after Pearson's gambling addiction drained their finances and eroded trust. His relationship with his children remains fractured. Only Zoe maintains regular contact. Following the show's cancellation, Pearson's career stagnated. He took to cruise ship gigs and regional comedy circuits to make ends meet. In 2018, he suffered a mild stroke that partially impaired his motor skills, forcing a near-complete retirement from performing. He currently resides in a small assisted living complex in Burbank, where he tutors young comics and occasionally writes routines for others. Once tipped for mainstream stardom, Pearson now reflects on lost chances and quiet regret. His estate is estimated at just $200,000, much of it tied up in a dwindling retirement fund and old royalties. Angel Brooks, who portrayed the charming and witty Monica in Malcolm and Eddie, was 32 when the show began. Her portrayal of the confident, flirtatious character left a lasting impression on viewers. However, despite her success, Brooks' personal life was marked by heartache. After her brief marriage to an aspiring actor that ended in divorce, she struggled with finding lasting love. Her next relationship, a long-term partnership, also fell apart, and they had one child, a son named Jordan. Brooks faced tremendous emotional turmoil, particularly as her career started to fade after the show ended. With no major roles on the horizon, she withdrew from the public eye and spent years battling depression. By her mid-40s, she found solace in a quieter life, becoming involved in local theater and teaching acting to young aspiring performers. Now 61, Brooks has made a modest living and remains close to her son, though the pain of lost opportunities and failed relationships still weighs heavily on her. Her estate is valued at around $500,000, primarily from royalties and teaching engagements. Michelle Hurd, who played the strong-willed Dana Kramer, was a standout character in Malcolm and Eddie. At 30, Hurd brought a no-nonsense yet compassionate approach to the role, leaving viewers captivated by her emotional depth. Off-screen, Hurd's life was far from the empowered persona she portrayed. She married her co-star, who played her on-screen partner, but the marriage quickly crumbled as their off-screen chemistry faded. Their tumultuous divorce left her with 2 children, a daughter named Madison and a son, Lucas. Struggling to balance motherhood and a career that didn't quite take off post-show, Hurd faced numerous financial hardships. Her acting career dwindled, and she often took on minor roles to make ends meet. In her later years, Hurd found solace in activism and mental health advocacy, focusing on helping others navigate the challenges she herself had faced. Now 58, Hurd is living a quieter life, with an estimated estate of $1.2 million, mostly from small roles, advocacy work, and real estate investments. Christopher Daniel Barnes, who played the laid-back yet intelligent Kevin, was 24 when he joined the show. His portrayal of the easygoing, thoughtful character was a fan favorite, but in reality, Barnes faced significant challenges after Malcolm and Eddie ended. His career stagnated in the early 2000s, and despite his attempts at securing new roles, he struggled to find anything as meaningful as his time on the show. Barnes' personal life wasn't much better. He married twice, both relationships ending in painful divorces. He has 2 children, a daughter named Olivia and a son, Ethan, from his second marriage. Sadly, he was estranged from his children during the final years of his second marriage, as his personal demons, including alcohol abuse and anxiety, took their toll. At 53, Barnes is a well-regarded voice actor, finding stability in this career after years of struggle. He is active in mentoring younger actors and has finally reconnected with his children. His estate, once close to $200,000, now stands at $800,000, accumulated through voice acting roles and personal investments. Coolio, who played the eccentric Professor Mac X, was 33 when he brought his unique flair to Malcolm and Eddie. His portrayal of the bold, humorous character was one of the highlights of the show, and fans loved his wit and unpredictability. However, Coolio's personal life was far from stable. His marriage to longtime partner, Tanya, was marred by infidelities and emotional distance, and they eventually divorced. He had 5 children, 2 daughters, Shaniqua and Mercedes, and 3 sons, Devin, Dante, and Elijah. Despite his fame, Coolio's life was filled with constant struggles. Financial problems, run-ins with the law, and a constant battle to stay relevant in the entertainment industry contributed to his downfall. His health also began to decline, and his mental health issues became more pronounced as his career faded. Coolio tragically passed away at 59 on September 28, 2022, due to a heart attack. He was remembered fondly for his contributions to both music and television. His estate, valued at $3 million, was left to his children and several charitable organizations dedicated to youth empowerment. Orlando Brown, who portrayed Steven in Malcolm and Eddie, was just 9 years old when he joined the show, bringing a vibrant and charismatic energy to his role. His character, often the life of the party, provided much-needed comic relief in the series. Orlando, born in 1987, showed promise early in his career, moving on to voice acting and appearances in other shows. However, after Malcolm and Eddie, his career began to unravel. He faced significant personal struggles, including legal troubles and issues with substance abuse. His tumultuous personal life saw several failed relationships, and he struggled to maintain a connection with his family. Orlando was married briefly but divorced after just 2 years, with no children from the union. He also had a rocky relationship with his parents, which worsened over time. Now 37, Orlando has been attempting to rebuild his career, focusing on music and a small comeback in acting. His estimated estate is believed to be worth around $500,000, though much of it has been spent on legal and rehabilitation costs. He has been open about his struggles, using them as fuel to move forward in his personal and professional life. Christian Copeland, who played Little Miles in Malcolm and Eddie, was a sprightly 8-year-old when he brought a sense of youthful exuberance to his role on the show. His character was the embodiment of innocence, often caught in the antics of his older counterparts. Christian's career was short-lived, with Malcolm and Eddie being one of his only notable roles. After the show, he stepped away from the spotlight, choosing a quieter life outside of Hollywood. Despite a promising start, the pressures of child stardom took a toll on him. Christian faced personal turmoil as he struggled with identity and the fallout from his early fame. He married in his mid-20s, but the relationship quickly deteriorated, ending in divorce after just 3 years. Christian has no children and has lived a largely private life, far removed from the public eye. Now 36, he is focused on his education and works as a high school teacher, finding solace in shaping young minds. Though he's not wealthy, his estimated estate is modest, likely under $300,000, but he lives simply, content with his quiet existence away from fame. Ennis Cosby, who portrayed Isaac X in Malcolm and Eddie, was a seasoned 27 years old when he took on the role of the thoughtful and intelligent character. His acting career had just begun to gain traction when tragedy struck. Ennis was the son of legendary comedian Bill Cosby, but his fame would be overshadowed by the heartbreaking events that unfolded after Malcolm and Eddie. In 1997, Ennis was murdered during a robbery attempt while changing a flat tire on a desolate road in California. His death at the age of 27 stunned the world and left a deep void in the entertainment community. He had been engaged to a woman, but they did not marry before his death, and they had no children. The family never fully recovered from the loss, with Bill Cosby's personal troubles further complicating the emotional aftermath. Ennis's estate, largely untouched, was estimated to be around $2 million at the time of his passing, though much of it was tied up in legal matters after his death. His untimely death continues to be a source of sorrow for those who knew him, especially in the wake of his potential as both an actor and a humanitarian. Rosalind Chow, who portrayed Principal Chung in Malcolm and Eddie, was 39 years old when she brought a strong yet compassionate authority figure to life on the show. Her portrayal of Principal Chung, though stern, displayed her character's deep concern for her students, making her a beloved figure among fans. Over the years, Rosalind's career flourished, with roles in both film and television, but she struggled with balancing work and her personal life. She married actor Alan Dick, and the two had 2 children, a son named Daniel and a daughter named May. While their marriage began happily, the couple eventually faced irreconcilable differences, leading to a painful divorce after 15 years. Rosalind's relationship with her children also became strained, as her commitment to her career often kept her away from home. Now 69, Rosalind continues to work, though not as frequently as she once did. She lives a modest life in Los Angeles, with an estimated estate worth $1.5 million, a portion of which is allocated for her children's education and well-being. Despite her challenges, Rosalind remains a respected figure in the industry and finds joy in mentoring younger actors. Paula Jai Parker, who played Jerry in Malcolm and Eddie, was 27 when she brought her bold and charismatic character to life on screen. Her role as the confident and unapologetic friend provided a vibrant energy to the series, often stealing scenes with her sharp wit and confidence. However, after the show, Paula's career was plagued by personal challenges. Despite initial success in television and film, her later roles failed to garner the same recognition. She struggled with a series of short-lived relationships, the most public being her marriage to actor Forrest Martin, which ended in a bitter divorce after 7 years. The couple had 1 child, a son named Malik, who became a point of tension as Paula's career took a downward spiral. She battled substance abuse and spent years in and out of rehab, which strained her relationships with her family. Now 55, Paula has returned to acting in a few smaller roles but remains far from the spotlight she once enjoyed. Her estate is estimated to be worth around $700,000, much of which has been used to pay off legal and personal debts. Despite the struggles, she continues to rebuild her career, focusing on smaller roles and personal healing. Time Winters, who portrayed Mr. Bronsky in Malcolm and Eddie, was 40 years old when he took on the role of the quirky and intelligent teacher. His character, always a bit eccentric and unpredictable, was both loved and misunderstood by those around him. Time's performance brought a unique depth to the show, often balancing humor with moments of introspection. However, his life after the show became difficult, marked by personal and professional setbacks. His marriage to longtime partner Eliza Cunningham ended in divorce after 15 years, largely due to Time's increasing detachment from his family. He and Eliza had 2 children, a daughter named Samantha and a son named Daniel, but his time spent on the road for theater productions left little room for his family. Time faced financial instability, his once promising stage career faltering as he struggled to find roles in Hollywood. Now 69, Time still performs in community theater and occasional guest spots, though his glory days are long behind him. His estimated estate is modest, around $350,000, most of which is tied up in his dwindling theater income. Despite the hardships, Time maintains a positive outlook, finding solace in his theater work and his relationship with his children. Jamie Cardrish, who played the strong and memorable character TJX in Malcolm and Eddie, was 30 years old when he brought his intense and dynamic role to life. TJX's presence on the show was one of authority and strength, traits that Jamie carried with him in his own life. However, after the series ended, Jamie's career did not take off as expected. He found himself pigeonholed into similar roles and struggled to break out of the typecasting. His personal life was just as tumultuous, having been married twice. His first marriage, to actress Felicia Monroe, ended in divorce after just 4 years, with no children. His second marriage was to an up-and-coming producer, but that too ended tragically in separation due to his declining health. Jamie had long struggled with complications from a previous surgery and faced chronic pain, which led to dependency on painkillers. Sadly, Jamie passed away at the age of 32 on July 28, 2000, due to complications during surgery. His death was a shock to those who had worked with him on Malcolm and Eddie, as he had a promising future ahead. At the time of his passing, his estate was estimated to be worth $1.5 million, though much of it went towards medical expenses. His death left a lasting impact on his colleagues and fans alike. Who is your favorite character from Malcolm and Eddie? How does it feel knowing that some of the actors are no longer with us? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future uploads. Thank you for your support.